Thank you for taking this interview. Do you believe that historically black colleges and universities are relevant today?
Yes, I think that they are very relevant because um they kind of show history and how far we've come and where we still have to go.
Okay. Why did you attend an HBCU?
I feel that it was more. I feel like they wanted me to go there more. I had more scholarship opportunities um than I did with any PWI.
Okay. So, as far as attending an HBCU, um, was there anything else while you attended there that kind of caught your eye? Maybe the buildings, the new buildings that they have, or something like that.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's just they have a certain look to them, and the um like landscaping is nice too, and it all just kind of ties in together.
Okay. Well, since we're speaking of some of the newer buildings, I know the Student Center at Jackson State is one of the new buildings. And I know that in the Student Center, students choose to eat in the Student Center. What are some of the places that are actually located inside of Jackson State Student Center?
The like food places or just anything.
The food places.
Well, they have Pizza Hut and Chick-fil-A and the place that sell the Southern cooking and the kind of Mexican kind of place.
Mhm.
And oh, I can't think of.
Okay. Well, out of those places that you named, do you think that those places actually sell a healthy choice of foods to students?
Well, Chick-fil-A does because they have the mixed fruit option and I think they have the salad option.
Mhm.
But as far as everybody else, not really.
Okay. So besides the student center, um, where else do students normally go to get food?
The calf.
Okay. So let's talk a little bit more about the CAF on campus. So, can you name me some of the things that Jackson State's CAF actually serves?
Well, I know they have the hot dogs, well, the hamburgers.
Mhm.
They have the salad bar, fried chicken on Wednesdays,
Mhm.
fried fish on Fridays, maybe Taco Tuesdays,
Mhm.
stuff like that.
So, going back to basically the foods being served and the student center not really being healthy, do you think that the foods in the CAF are healthier or just as healthy um, as they are in the student center?
I think they probably on the same page.
Mhm.
Maybe like one option, like with the whole salad bar, but that's about it.
Mhm. So, besides basically salad, it's pretty much really not a healthy choice of foods on campus.
Right, right.
Okay. Well, let's kind of move to off campus. What are some of the closest places to Jackson State that students can actually walk to, walking distance? What are the places that students actually go to?
Well, you have Stamps and Boston. Oh, the Wow Wing Place, the
Mhm.
Penguin,
Okay. So as
Subway.
Okay. So as far as those options that you just named, can you name me some of the things that those places actually serve?
Well, Boston's and the Wow Place
Mhm.
sell wings,
Mhm.
fried wings, and the Penguin sell a lot of fried foods too.
Mhm.
Subway have sandwiches and stuff.
Mhm. So out of those places, would you say either of those places actually serve healthy foods?
Allegedly Subway, but it depends on what you
Mhm.
get.
Well, you say allegedly Subway. So, what makes Subway not healthy?
well, when they start doing the most like the meatball sandwiches and
Mhm.
all these other options you can get on the sandwiches, it turns into not being so healthy.
Right. Now moving back toward the places that are off campus, do you notice I guess I would say an increase in students wanting to eat off campus or them wanting to stay on campus to eat?
Probably off campus more.
So do you think it's because those places are just quicker than maybe the food that they serve on campus, or maybe the food on campus isn't good or it's tasteless? What do you think are maybe could be reasons as to why they would rather eat off campus?
Well, I think they probably go off campus because they're tired of eating the food on campus,
Mhm.
and the food off campus probably tastes better too.
Okay. So since we're on taste now, do you think that plays a big part in students eating in the legacy and the calf as far as how it tastes?
Yeah, definitely.
So you think that more students eat in the student center versus the calf?
As long as they can pay for it, yes.
Okay, I'm glad you said pay. So now we're looking at the financial part of it. When you think of the calf on campus, that's supposed to be from your tuition, so of course it's supposed to be in your meal plan. It's supposed to be free. Why do you think students would rather spend their actual money in the student center for a Pizza Hut or Chick-fil-A rather than just going to what's free?
I think it's because probably simply because it tastes better.
Mm-hmm.
The calf have limited options sometimes. So if they don't have what you want, then you just gonna go get what you want.
Mm. So, would you say it's a problem that our CAF, which is what we as students actually pay for, do you think that it's unfair to us that they don't have as many options as we would like them to?
Yes.
Especially since we're paying for it.
Yeah, it kind of puts limitations on what the students can eat for free.
So let's go back to the places off campus as far as being able to eat. For those students who may not have transportation or, of that sort, what do you think Jackson State could do if they wanted to eat off campus?
I think Jackson State can like offer like on certain days a week they can have like people from other places come to campus and like sell food for the students who don't have transportation.
Okay. What do you feel are some of the challenges of attending an HBCU?
I guess it can be kind of sheltered.
Mm-hmm.
The professors kind of take care of you and look out for you and make sure you're doing what you're supposed to do. And in the real world, it's not like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess it can kind of shield you from what to expect when you start actually working.
Mm-hmm. So, besides being sheltered, do you think HBCUs, I guess I would put it this way, are treated differently than at PWIs?
Yeah, I kind of think so.
Okay, well, could you tell me why?
Just like from my personal experience.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I know, like the teachers at HBCUs, like when they teach class and stuff, it's like probably like more personal.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like kind of they know your name and they know you personally and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think at PWIs, it's so many people in the class, you're just another student.
Mm-hmm.
And at HBCUs, when the classes are smaller, you're like invited to like talk and participate in class.
Mm-hmm.
But when it's a lot of people in your class, everybody just sit down and listen to the teacher basically.
So I'm glad you actually mentioned teachers. Moving back to the health part of Jackson State or the foods that are offered at Jackson State, do you notice teachers eating actually in the cafeteria or in the student center?
Yeah.
And what do they usually get? Do they usually get those unhealthy options, or do they actually go and, grab salads?
I think I tend to see them more with salads and
Hmm.
stuff.
So would you say that maybe age difference also plays a role in wanting to be healthy? Maybe students feel like, um, we're young, we got a whole life to live versus, you know, instructors or professors might feel like, we know that this is actually important.
Yeah, I think that older adults are more conscious of their health because they tend to go to the doctors more,
Mm-hmm.
and they tend to have more chronic diseases like high blood pressure, diabetes. So they kind of like have to eat healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas when you're young, you don't have any of these problems yet, so you don't really care.
Okay. Um, so let's move over to the University of Mississippi Medical Center. That's where you attend now.
Right.
Okay. So could you tell me some of the food options that you have on campus?
Well, we have Chick a Chick-fil-A, a Subway, and it's like this little place that sells grilled food like hamburgers and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a place that has like salad bar and a place that sell like I guess like home cooked meals
Mm-hmm.
and stuff, and just another station that sell random stuff.
Mm-hmm. So, um, with you being a student and possibly have eaten in the caf, how does that food actually taste to you?
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay. Do most students go in the cafeteria, or they choose to maybe bring their own lunch?
Well, most of my classmates bring their own lunch.
Hmm. And most of your classmates are of what race?
White.
Okay. So let's think about that there. Do you think because maybe um, white people are more prone to eating healthy, do you think that that's also an issue that HBCUs should look at? That, we have to start eating healthy because we'll be the ones falling by the wayside versus, any other race. Because you mentioned diabetes and heart disease, which is really good. So do you think HBCUs should really start focusing on, promoting healthy eating?
Yeah, I think so because as black people alone, you're already more susceptible to high blood pressure and diabetes and other chronic illnesses like that just because of genetics alone. So that kind of makes it more important for black people to eat healthy.
Mhm. So, some of your black colleagues, do they eat in the caf?
Yes.
Okay. So, what are some of the places that are walking distance around the campus that if somebody wanted to walk to lunch, they could actually go and walk to?
Backyard Burger. Um, I guess depending on how far they want to go, some of those places in Sandra.
Okay. Well, let's just stick with Backyard Burger. Do you think Backyard Burger actually give healthy options?
Not that I've noticed.
Mm. Do you notice a lot of students actually going to Backyard Burger versus going to the caf?
No, they don't. They
Not
hardly
really.
ever go.
Okay. Well, it could also be, like you said, maybe because they bring their own lunch or because the food in your caf actually gives you options and, whether you want to eat healthy or unhealthy, which brings me to my next question. Do you think the government, federal, state, and local, does enough to preserve and encourage HBCUs?
I don't think so because I think if they did more, then HBCUs would respond to it, and it would be evident
Mm.
that they're trying to move towards healthy eating and stuff like that.
Hmm. So, do you think that, the government, state, or local has anything to do with the food or how money is distributed toward food on college campuses?
I think that they probably give them a certain budget or something for
Mhm.
food, and healthy food tends to be more expensive.
Mhm.
So it's probably easier to make the money stretch when you don't have all those healthy options.
Okay, well that's a pretty good point staying there. Healthy food is more expensive. So do you think that maybe one day, because it's so important, that HBCUs would actually spend that money on healthy foods versus using it for, the Pizza Huts and the soul food calves and stuff like that?
I think that once they see that eating healthy is relevant, that they probably will. But right now, they probably don't really see it as important because, like, just in general, black people don't really see eating healthy as being important.
Mhm.
And I think because a lot of black people come from lower socioeconomic families and stuff, they
Mhm.
don't really have the money to eat healthy themselves.
Mhm.
So when they come to HBCUs that have unhealthy food, it's all in what they already know.
Mhm.
So if they had healthy options as of now, they probably wouldn't take advantage of them because they're not used to eating.
Mhm.
It's like you kind of have to change their mindset first.
Okay, so as far as changing their mindsets, what are some of the things that HBCUs could actually do to promote eating healthy besides just passing out flyers and just letting the students know there's a gym on campus?
I think that they can start by maybe like having events or like presentations or something,
Mhm.
because it's easy to tell somebody to do something, but if they don't know why they're doing it, they're not gonna do it.
Mhm.
So I think it's important to not really just give information, but give explanation so that they can really understand the importance of it.
Mhm. So when you attended Jackson State, do you think Jackson State did a pretty good job at promoting, or what do you think that?
Oh, I don't really remember any promotion,
Mhm.
so I guess not really.
Okay. So, even though you go to UMMC, what do you see them actually promoting, healthy eating for people to be healthy?
Well, I think just because it's a hospital, they kind
Mhm.
of, and then I'm in nursing school, so it's a lot of education and eating healthy. They have like lectures and forums every week about heart diseases and
Mhm.
stuff like that, and they send out a million emails. So,
Okay. So, okay, well, with you saying that, them sending out so many emails and talking about it so much, does it actually make you say, okay, this is too many emails, but so I start reading them, it starts to sink in to know, okay, maybe this is something, I need to be concerned with.
not with the emails, probably with like
Mhm.
the lectures and stuff. But emails are easy to overlook and ignore.
Mhm.
So I wouldn't say that the emails was effective.
So, would you say lecturing more on HBCU campuses may actually open students' eyes to wanting to be healthy?
If they do it in an entertaining way, like in
Mhm.
a way to get the students to participate and to kind of do hands-on activities and stuff rather than just standing up front talking.
Mhm. So, um, looking back at UMMC, your PWI basically, when students are presented with the options that you said that you guys have in the cab, let's say that they didn't bring their lunch, do you still feel like your new colleagues would actually eat in you all's caf, or would they actually choose to go off campus?
Oh, well, when they don't bring their lunch, they do tend to eat in the cab or at Subway.
Hmm. So I think it's safe to say that as long as if the healthier option is there and if it tastes good, that's the main thing. Just as long as the food tastes good.
Right, right.
Okay. So, hmm. Does the culture an environment at historically black colleges and universities encourage healthy lifestyles?
Um, I don't really think so. Well, I know. Well, this not really on topic, but they encourage safe sex.
Hmm.
But as far as like healthy eating and stuff, no, not really.
Hmm. So, why do you think that that's so?
I guess it's just the whole not really seeing it as being relevant thing.
Mm.
Don't really understand the importance of it.
Okay, so here's a thought. Since you were talking about the black race in general, do you think because the black race, since that's what HBCUs are mostly composed of, do you think because their, like you said, their environment has always been presented as, this is what we eat. And, even though it's presented that we get heart disease, we get diabetes, but just because this is what we know, that maybe HBCUs try to steer away from that because you don't want to basically break people's culture because this is what they're used to.
Yeah, that probably does have a big part in it because if somebody who's used to eating a whole bunch of unhealthy food goes to a college that only sells like super healthy food that doesn't look appealing,
Hmm.
they'll probably like not even want to go in a caf at
Hmm.
all. They'll probably like always eat off campus or something to get the kind of food that they're looking for.
So let's talk about the environment that Jackson State is around. As far as if Jackson State wanted to add more food places around where students could actually walk to, what can you describe me the outside environment of Jackson State, and do you think that businesses would actually want to come?
Um, I wouldn't think so. It's a lot of um not appealing looking neighborhoods around campus, and from the news lately that side of town has been having some bad things going on, and businesses don't want to put themselves in that situation, so I don't really see themselves taking that risk.
Um, do you think also because Jackson State campus is so open?
Yeah, and it's kind of inviting to anybody and
Hmm.
everybody to come.
Okay, so let's talk about the environment at UMMC. What is that outside environment around that campus?
um well, it's really just the busy State Street and
Hmm.
maybe like a few homeless looking people waiting on the bus. But otherwise, it's like it's clean and you don't really feel threatened or anything.
Hmm. So if it were space to grow, do you think let's just say a Quiznos or so or a McAllister, would you think that they would rather build their business around UMMC or Jackson State?
Yeah, they'll definitely build it around you and the city.
UMMC. Okay. Um, Looking back at the financial thing, do you think that um, alumni play a role in HBCUs getting money and getting the things that they need? Be it if we needed more places on campus for students to eat and where it's more options, do you think that alumni play a role in that?
Yeah, I think alumni play a huge part in it because, in a sense, alumni are who help the school grow more.
Mm-hmm.
And if alumni aren't giving back, then the school is limited and can't flourish like it needs to.
Mm-hmm. Looking back at UMMC, which is a hospital because you're in nursing school. So as far as your black colleagues, do you see them, I guess, following the trend as far as white people as far as, okay, well, me knowing now I can bring my lunch, I'll bring my lunch? Or are they strictly just bound to eating the calf?
They all still pretty much go to the calf.
Do you think that black students want to save their money, which is why they choose to, indulge in the free options?
Well, our cafeteria isn't free,
Oh, okay.
so
So either way, on UMMC's campus, you have to spend money when you want to eat, unless you bring your own.
right.
Okay, well that's a difference because at HBCUs, you have the option to bring your lunch, to wherever you want to eat, but you don't actually have to pay for the caf.
Right.
Okay. So, what have been your experiences thus far? What are some of your most positive experiences while attending an HBCU?
Um, I I definitely enjoyed myself. It was a friendly environment. It was always something going on,
Mm.
and I also had some pretty good teachers who were understanding and made sure we actually understood the content, but also made sure we did our part to study and prepare for the test and stuff.
Okay. So, since you said it was always stuff going on, out of the stuff going on, did anything ever promote being healthy, healthy eating, taking care of your body, taking care of yourselves?
No, not really.
Okay.
From what I remember.
Okay. Also, here's another question. Do you think because I'll just be straightforward, black people are obese and it's noticeable? Do you think that is another reason why HBCUs try to shy away from telling people to eat healthy, lose weight, because they basically don't want to hurt anybody's feelings?
Um, Maybe, but I think it's just more so that because of the lifestyle that people who are overweight live, I think that HBCUs just further cater into that lifestyle. And I'm not really sure if like the people who are over like the calf and the food and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really sure if they even care about health and stuff themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm not sure if it's even about the students or the healthiness of everybody else.
It's just pretty much, this is what we serve. This is your
Yeah.
options.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what are your takes on the freshman 15?
Well, I didn't gain it, but I think that when you get to college and you have free food, you're gonna eat it just because you can, just basically because it's there. And eating is also a form of socialization, so you may not even be hungry, but you're gonna go to the calf or to the student center with your friends and eat just because. So I can see why people can gain 15 pounds during freshman year.
Okay. What have been some of your experiences thus far at a predominantly white institution?
As far as like gaining weight?
And just pretty much your experiences. It can be about that, or some of your most positive experiences while attending a predominantly white institution.
Well, at my school personally, since it's not really like on an undergrad level, it's not really a lot of activities and stuff that go on campus, and it's more serious kind of, and it's really mostly based on like schoolwork and study. And they try to do some fun events every now and then, but it's really everything is basically based on school and community service and stuff like that.
So, out of looking back at some of the things that you said about when you attended Jackson State and the options they had there and the options that they have at UMMC, which place would you say is safe to say that they provide the healthier option?
Probably UNC.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, again, it's probably safe to say that, despite the circumstances or the environment that they're both in, that your PWI serves better food than at an HBCU.
Right.
Okay. Are there any questions that I can answer for you at this time?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for your participation.